Hey there, this is Elizabeth from Gabriel Family Adventures, and today I'm going to talk to you all about how to make a great cycling playlist. So, as you already know, besides traveling and blogging about it and all that good stuff, I am also an instructor at Cyclebar. So, here are some tips and tricks and things that work for me. Hopefully they'll work for you too. If you have any other suggestions, please feel free to comment below. Obviously subscribe to this channel, and here we go. All right, so the first thing I recommend is preparation, backwards planning. Don't try to wing it. And because music is such a personal choice, make sure that you don't just find some other instructor's music online and try to use it for your class. And maybe that works in some other, maybe if you're in an Orange Theory class or other types of HIIT classes where you just need kind of pump up music. Cycling's very different. There's a methodology to the class, so whether you work at Cyclebar or some other studio or big corporate gym, there's usually some kind of sequence involved that it starts with a warm-up, usually seated and then standing, and then there'll be some kind of combination of hills, flat road sprints, tons of intervals with gear and speed, and then usually some kind of sentimental way to connect to your riders kind of music. If you have weights, incorporate weights for one or two songs, and then sort of ending the class usually on a hill and a sprint and something really motivating to leave you as you go about your day after you have a nice cool down stretch. So how do you organize that, and how do you keep it fresh and exciting every single time you teach? I am a music fanatic, and my taste might be different than yours, but I think something to remember is that some of your riders could hear the same playlist 20 times and they don't care. But there's other riders who want to hear new music every single class, or at least a new take on a song. So I really try to steer clear of top 40. So whatever's playing on my car when I'm on the road, I try to avoid at all costs. Now, if there was a song, a summer jam from 3 years ago that was just so great, I might throw it in now, or I might throw in a remix. So for example, a really fun remix of Despacito would be appropriate now because it's not on the radio every 5 seconds anymore. And what I also do is I really try to think about old songs that way throwbacks, and can I find a remix or a cover band who did that song? So for example, I love Michael Jackson, so I like to find new versions of old Michael Jackson songs. So Dirty Diana, for example, there's tons of remixes. There's some that are a little faster, some that are a little slower, and so you can have a lot of fun with that, and then your writers hear a song that they're familiar with. Because some writers, especially at some of the more boutique studios, they tend to be, in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. And yeah, the new club bangers are awesome, but they might want a little bit of familiarity also, that maybe they want a throwback or a new version of a throwback to kind of mix it up a little bit. The other thing I do, and this is where I think my old career as a teacher really helped, is that I am a planner and I like to keep track of absolutely everything. So I created a spreadsheet, and I personally like Google Sheets because I like that I can look it up on my phone, my laptop, my desktop, wherever I am, I can access it. And I know there's lots of different spreadsheet programs that can do that. For me personally, I like Google. It's also free. So I made a Google Sheet, and what it has is it has a variety of tabs, and the tabs are the beats per minute of a song. So how do you find the beats per minute? There's a couple ways. There are many apps where you can tap tempo the song, and so you're just tapping as the song's going so you can find the rhythm. And sometimes a song, it might be difficult because the song could be technically 128 beats per minute, but really the way the song is structured, you might find the halftime beat. So you might go with the 64, which is a climb instead of an all-out sprint. So the tap tempo can help you with that. There's also a website called Sort Your Music that works in conjunction with Spotify. So if you're making your playlist on Spotify, which is really user-friendly, you can share it with your writers, you can share it with other instructors, or you can find other instructors on Spotify and sample some of their playlists. Sort Your Music actually works with Spotify. However, it's not always accurate. Every now and then there will be a song that it'll say the beats per minute online and it's not correct. So since I'm a total planner and perfectionist, I always double check it with the Tap Tempo app. I also have an app where I can just play a song on my laptop, and if my phone is open, it'll show me the beats per minute on that app as well. So I like to use both of those to double check and just to make sure that the beats per minute are accurate. And then what I do with all of the songs I like, and because I had been thinking about becoming an instructor for a very long time, I had just been sort of putting songs in playlists on Spotify, you know, fall 2018, spring 2019, you know, just throwing these playlists together. I decided to take that Google Sheet and sort all of them. So my tabs are by beats per minute, so I have 95 to 128, so some really fast, you know, think sprints, hold-ups, stuff like that. And then I have 60 to 69 beats per minute, which is kind of your perfect hill. And then 70 to 78, which is out of the saddle, kind of a fast run, almost like a warm-up run. Then 80 to 90, which can be really fast out of the saddle. Usually just do one of those per class unless it's a longer class, longer than 45 minutes. So that's kind of your endurance run. And then a really slow climb, really grind it out, kind of 45 to 59 beats per minute. And then because I work at Cyclebar, we have weights. So I have a song tab for weights, a song for our more emotional connection song, and then my cool down songs. And so what I'll do is I'll put the name of the song, how long the song is, beats per minute, and then the remaining columns are for when I've used those songs in class. And for me personally, I think it's really important to constantly keep your stuff fresh. I think especially in the boutique cycling industry, people come because they want to hear new things, they want a new experience every single time. My personal policy is only use the same song about once a month. So if I used it in July, wait and don't use it again until August or September. So kind of hold on to those, and then it keeps it fun for your riders. And then the other thing I will do is that I will often sort, like let's say I'm making a 45-minute playlist, and your playlists aren't really 45 minutes because you have some crossover, 6 to 10 seconds, depending on your studio. The songs overlap so that you don't have that dead space in the middle. You actually need to if you're teaching a 45-minute class, including your cool down, you need your playlist to be about 47 to 48 minutes. So sometimes I'll be making a playlist, I'm really into it, and it's only 44 minutes long. Shoot. And then I'll look, oh, I have too many songs that are 3 minutes. Or, you know, some of the really fun new music is 2.5 minutes. If you have a 2.5 minute song in your playlist, then you need to have a couple 4 to 5 minute songs to balance those out. And you can find those are some, you know, really fun mashups and remixes and stuff like that. They exist, they're out there. Throwbacks are often quite long, you know, songs from the 80s are really long. If you want to put some AC/DC in there, or Metallica's songs are like 6 minutes. I didn't realize that at the time, but they're super long. So if you want to do some crazy climb or something, you could put that in there. But be mindful of it, because if you just throw in all the songs you like, you could have a 35-minute class. So you want to make sure that if riders are paying top dollar for your cycling experience, give them the full class. Don't end early, because then they might feel a little frustrated, like, oh man, you know, I was really here for 45 minutes, not 40. So sometimes you just need to scroll through and say, okay, I need a 4-minute song. Where is it? And then you can pull that out and keep track of it. And then as you're making your playlist, an additional level, if you want to take it, is also to think about what kind of message, theme, inspiration of the day are you going for that particular ride. So, sometimes it's just, I want to just have fun and there really isn't some kind of overarching beautiful message, but sometimes there are. And, depending on what day it is, theme rides are great because they're naturally, you'll gravitate towards different music. I taught US history for years, so teaching on the 4th of July was just beyond fun for me. So that kind of wrote itself. But, there's other times where maybe you want to respond to something that's going on in the world. You don't want to get too heavy in class, but a little bit of sentimental connection does go a long way with your riders. Sometimes that's why your riders are there. I know that's why I started going to cycling classes, is because I needed a dark room where I could feel things and I could let go. A lot of stuff gets conjured up for us as instructors and riders. So think about, is there a theme? Is there something that you can kind of weave through your playlist for that particular day? Is it improving our intervals? Is it talking about struggle? Is it talking about letting go? Is it talking about adding a little more gear than you really want to? What is sort of the takeaway, the message of that particular day? And then you just go with it and then enjoy yourself. If you're having fun and if you're giving it 100, your riders will have fun and they will have a very positive experience. So, if you go to class and you're like, I'm hungover, I'm tired, that's not inspiring for them. But if you're like, all right, let's do this, I'm tired, but, I got out of bed this morning, pumped for this class. Something like that to kind of turn that negative into a positive and then get rolling and have a good time. So if you have any questions, comments, please don't hesitate to put those below, and subscribe to this channel for more travel adventures and cycling adventures in the future. See you later.